I have proof, but his dad does drugs, and so does
Do you have any direct knowledge of this, or is this just hearsay?
Hearsay.
What would you like to add, sir?
Other men around my daughter, that's not related to her, such as boyfriends and stuff like that. Is that okay? Or, because I don't know these guys, and I don't want my daughter around them, but I don't think there's much I can do about that, right?
Ms. Pinkerton, do you have boyfriends around your daughter?
No, ma'am.
That's why I have a photo.
Mom doesn't feel her daughter is safe with Dad because of an ongoing case against Dad.
I do not feel my daughter is safe with the ongoing case that is going on.
Is that a case against your daughter?
No, but with him being alone with her, I do not feel it's safe for her.
So you are asking for supervised visitation at this point until something is resolved?
Yes, strict supervisor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And who are you asking to be the supervisor?
My mom.
Are you okay with his mom being one of the supervisors?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Because I have proof, but his dad does drugs, and so does
Do you have any direct knowledge of this, or is this just hearsay?
Hearsay.
Sir, wait till it's your turn to talk.
I have proof that I can email y'all, but they both do smoke weed.
This is something you've witnessed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Who is both when you say both?
D'Anthony and his dad, and he
But-
lives with his dad and his stepmom.
Okay, so it's his stepmom that's in the house?
Yes, ma'am. His stepmom and his dad.
Okay. So, and for that reason, you are not comfortable with his stepmom being the supervisor?
Yes, because I have proof, but they leave it laying around.
Do you have times that you are suggesting for this visitation?
I give a week notice on when my mom's days off are to them to make the arrangement of what day is good and what time is good.
So you don't have anything that you could say on the first, third, or fifth Saturdays of every month at this time?
No, ma'am. Gets her schedule every 5 weeks in advance.
Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
You may call your next witness.
I would call Mr. Hodges. Mr. Hodges, as far as the agreements, as far as child support, are you in agreement with those that we've announced already?
With her mom being the supervisor?
No.
Okay.
With the child support portions.
I'm in agreement with that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, and that is because you had told me you are grossing between 600 and 700 a week on an average week.
Yes, ma'am. Sometimes it's lower than that. Yes, ma'am.
650 on an average would be a good average.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as far as the visitation, what are you asking for the visitation?
So what I'm asking for the visitation is for my stepmom and my father to be the supervisors, being that I live with them and everything. And it'd be like on a set weekend so I can let my job know, because sometimes it's not in a week advance when I get the notice of when her mom is off of work. Sometimes it's the day of or the day before, and I can't do that with my job.
So you need some set, you're okay with supervised visitation for now?
For now, yes, ma'am.
But you would like some set times to be able to do that?
Yes, ma'am. And my stepmother, she is also.
You've heard her concerns about your stepdad and your dad and your stepmom and the drugs. Did you hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you have to say about that?
I can pass a UA, and my father, he could pass a UA if need be. We can both pass the drug test and everything, and this is a very kid-friendly environment. They have grandkids that come over all the time.
Do you have any other children?
No, ma'am, just Oakland. And the leaving drugs around, that's a no-go. I mean, we have other little kids that come over here all the time. It's a very clean home, no alcohol, versus where everybody at Miss Pinkerton's residence, they all like to drink and party. So, and it's a very nasty environment.
Your Honor, I would pass this witness.
Okay, what happened that there's a lawsuit? I can't find the lawsuit. I don't know anything about the lawsuit. So it's hard to judge.
He hasn't
Any of
been
these
indicted
issues?
yet.
I'm sorry?
He hasn't been indicted, but my understanding it's a pending charge of either injury to a child or some sort of with a child.
Is it this
I'm not
child?
sure. Not this child,
Okay.
with an underage child.
Miss Pinkerton?
I have contact with her mother, her stepmom, and that's where I get all the information on the case because I can't call and get information because I'm not in it. It's between her and she's underage. And the police station actually took in the iPhone 12 that D'Anthony was paying for and was pulling messages off of it, and they still have it. And as far as I know of last week, you told me it was going to the grand jury, the whole case.
Okay, you said you have proof of drug use. What is your proof, ma'am?
It's a picture
How old is the photo?
of like couple months, like about 7 months. Give me 1 second. My mom's gonna pull it up.
Okay, your mom can't be testifying for you, ma'am. It has to be your testimony.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
And is there anyone else who can supervise these visits, besides parents?
My aunt, Amber?
Does she work?
No, ma'am.
So she has more availability?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and she's available and willing to do this?
I believe so, yes.
And Mr. Hodges, do you know the Aunt Amber?
Yes, ma'am, I know Miss
Okay,
Amber.
do you have any concerns with Miss Amber?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, and she'd be available more consistently. Okay, sir, do you have a schedule when you work?
I'm off most weekends. I believe I can, once we get something set, I can let my job know what weekends I'll need off, and then I'll have those weekends off and have that time off.
Well, once we get, okay.
If that
What are
works.
you asking for? Do you have a request for visitation?
I was just wanting standard visitation.
Well, it's not gonna be standard with supervision.
Right.
So
yes,
what does
ma'am.
that mean to you? What does standard mean to you?
First, third, and fifth weekend.
What have you all been doing? Like what time frame?
My mom,
Time. It just depends.
What, Ms. Pinkerton, what do you think you've all been doing?
my mom is off 2 days or 2 days a week. And I'll let him know which days she's off and he'll pick one of those days to meet up.
So you're doing it once a week, a visit?
Yes.
Okay, and about what time frame? Is it like, does it
It's
change
like-
every time or is it like, how many hours? Is that
It's in the
consistent? Mhm.
it's in the evening. We make it in the evening after
From when
he
to
gets-
when?
It's about 5:30 to like 7. And we
So
meet
what
up,
kind of, so what kind of job do you have? Does it work? Is it is it night sometimes?
No, ma'am. I'm a plumber, so I'm
So it could be.
yeah, yes, ma'am. Every day, and sometimes it's late. Sometimes I'll get home 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay, if you ran the world and you could choose dates and times for these visits, what would you want? What would work best for you?
I would do Saturdays, about noon to about 4 or 5, if that's reasonable. For about 5 to 6 hours, if that's possible. But definitely on the weekends. During the week, it's a little bit harder for me to get off of work during the week. It's a lot easier during the weekend to get off and not work. Being also that I'm on commission, if we did it during the week, that would also render my
No,
My
I'm just
pay-
trying to see what will work for everybody, because the more it works for everyone, the more likely the visitation will happen,
Okay.
on both sides. So,
well, I'm
Okay.
fine with weekends. and any weekend, that they feel fit. I just need to have it set in stone so I can let my job know and they can schedule me off for that weekend.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything else they want to say?
My mom can request whichever weekend it is, so she can take off that weekend. She can request it in advance.
Okay, and where have these visits been occurring?
At
I'm sorry, where, ma'am?
a park,
Okay. What park?
the Cleveland Park, like, and then we had one in Splendora.
I'm going to order temporary orders. For now, I'm going to make Miss Pinkerton a temporary managing conservator, and Mr. Hodges a possessory conservator.
I do have another thing to add if it's not too late.
What would you like to add, sir?
So other men around my daughter, that's not related to her, such as boyfriends and stuff like that. Is that okay? Or, I mean, because I don't know these guys and I don't want my daughter around them, but I don't think there's much I can do about that, right?
Miss Pinkerton, do you have boyfriends around your daughter?
No, ma'am.
That's a lie. I have a photo.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'm gonna do managing conservator, possessory conservator. I'm gonna have an injunction against both of you, having anyone that you're romantically involved with being around the child.
Yes, ma'am.
This is temporary order, so it might not stay on final.
Is that after a certain time or any time?
For temporary orders, we're gonna do anytime. Supervised visits each Saturday, noon to 4, supervised by either Miss Pinkerton's mother or her Aunt Amber. So she has some flexibility there. And the meetup will be at the Cleveland Park.
That's Shane Pinkerton, the grandma, or Amber. What is Amber's last name?
McKinney.
Thank you. Is that every Saturday, Judge?
Yes,
Okay, from 1 to 5?
noon to 4, noon to 4.
Noon to 4. Okay, I'm sorry.
And I'm going to approve and order the child support that was agreed upon, $475 a month, child support, $50 each month, medical, all beginning June 1st, 2023.
Court costs, Your Honor.
I'm going to wait till final to deal with court costs.
Thank you.
Do we need to come back? I feel like some time should pass.
You want to go out to August?
Yeah, at least, because I don't think it's gonna get resolved quickly unless the grand jury comes back saying no. I mean, then it will be resolved very quickly. So it's either gonna be very quick or not quick.
Yes, ma'am.
August 18th or August 22nd?
That's the start date, or?
No, that's when you're gonna come back to court and we'll consider a final trial depending on what's going on.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Which one would you like, Judge?
Let's do the 22nd. Okay, she's going to draft up the temporary orders based on my ruling today and send it to me to review and sign off on. And then they'll be sending you a copy for your records.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and good luck, and we'll see what's happening in August.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.